Hello Legacy Sabers, Marsh here. So today we're going to graph sine and cosine functions with horizontal shifts. So basically our graphs are going to move left and right today.
These are not much newer than what we did with a horizontal move of our graphs before. Just remember, determining your amplitude, that is your A value right in front of the sine or cosine. Remember, it was the absolute value of our particular one, okay? Determine the period. Now, the period, remember, was 2 pi divided by our B value. To find our increment, or what each tick mark would be counted up by, that was our period divided by 4. And then the horizontal shift is whatever the H is, the H value. Now, remember, this is going to be opposite of what you think. So, negative inside is going to move you right. Positive inside, that's going to move you left. Okay, so it is going to be opposite of what you think. Then you're going to use this information to label and graph using this transformation. Let's take a look at a couple examples here. So very first thing I noticed, there is a -2 for my amplitude. My amplitude is just 2. But I'm going to put a little note by here and say flipped. So I know when I graph this guy, he's not going to start going up like sine normally would. He's going to go down. Okay, so we're going to want to keep that in our mind. Our period then is 2 pi divided by my B value, which is 2. So my period is pi. Our increment then is period divided by 4. Pi over 4. Now our horizontal shift, notice this piece right here. This is new. Right there. Negative pi over 2. X minus pi over 2. So what this means is I'm going to go right pi over 2. So let's put our normal graph here. There we go. I'm going to draw in my amplitude. So I got 1, 2, -1, -2. Go grab my blue color, remember, because we always make a color for our amplitudes. Up and down. Alright, then let's do our increments. So I'm going to go by pi over 4. So let's go pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, 4 pi over 4. So that's one whole period, right? Because that's just pi. So let's go backwards. Negative pi over 4, negative 2 pi over 4, negative 3 pi over 4, and finally negative 4 pi over 4. Now, here's where this is going to get a little different. I'm going to change color because my horizontal shift now is going to be green. So, I need to start my graph at pi over 2, and that's going to be to the right. So, that is 2 pi over 4, right? Pi over 2. So, I'm going to put a line right here, up and down. So then I know this is where my new starting point is, aka where my x-axis, or my y-axis would have been. So instead of starting here, I'm now going to start here. That's why that green line is so important. It makes it easy for me to find where I started. Now, it is a sine graph, but it is a flipped sine graph. So normally I would have went up, right? Well, he's going to start here still because he is a sine. We are now going to go down because he is flipped. Okay, so flipped is just going to cause you to, when normally you would have gone up, you're now just going to go down. So then I'm going to go this way. Looks like we'll hit up at pi over 4. Go down through 0, 0. Pi over 4. 2 pi over 4. 3 pi over 4, and then cross over right there, I think, right? Looks like it. So we'll come, whoops, that was a little messy. Go shoot through there, bounce, cross over, bounce, cross through, bounce, and cross through. So now notice we do have 2 full periods. Here's 1 period right here, and then we have another full period right there. Just not the best of increments this time. Marsh messed up. But notice, guys, this is a cyclical graph. So even though I moved it, notice, if we wouldn't know where it was, we would have said it's a normal sine graph. So careful, make sure you do mark in your horizontal shift with either A, another color, or B, something way that I can tell that you moved it, okay? Our domain should be negative infinity to infinity. And my range, of course, I'm bouncing between -2 and 2. Let's try one more. So my amplitude is 3. Period, well, that's 2 pi divided by 1/2, it looks like, which is just 4 pi, which you can do quickly on your calculator if you need to. My increment, 4 pi divided by 4, just plain old pi. It looks like I'm shifting left pi. Okay, so let's go ahead and fill in our graph here. There we go. Fill in my amplitudes. 1, 2, 3, -1, -2, -3. Take my blue here and make my dotted line. There we go. There we go. My program's not liking me right now. Okay, let's fill in our increments. So I got 1 pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, and 4 pi. So 1 period right there. Then I got -pi, -2 pi, -3 pi, and finally -4 pi. Now it tells me I'm going to go left pi, so that is a -pi. So this is going to be my new starting line right here at this mark. So I'm going to mark that in right there. Now it is a cosine. So cosine, remember guys, starts all the way at the top, and then it looks like I'm going to cross over right here, bounce down here, cross over, bounce, cross over, same thing over here, cross over, bounce, cross over. So it looks like it's going to do something like this as I draw through my dots here. There we go. So something like that. Our domain, negative infinity to infinity, goodness, and then -3 to 3 for my range. And that's the end of this video. See you later, Sabers.